Stay savage, your boy Shino Ventura. What's poppin'? Today we are back, and this time we are back with a Naruto, aka Naruto Next Generation's Boruto video. You know, Boruto, a new episode just dropped. I know you guys have been anticipating this video all day. I know you guys like to see my thoughts and my personal opinions on this, and I apologize for the delayedness, but like, you know, there's so much shit going on in my life, and then, you know, there's a tropical storm. Our power actually went out for a little bit. It went out for about 2 hours, you know, so that was kind of sucky. You know, I was sitting in the hot house. You know, it's very humid in Louisiana. I live in New Orleans, so it's really fucking hot, plus it's summer. So, you know, it's something I'm dealing with. But for the most part, you know, we're going to give you guys my personal thoughts and my personal opinions about today's episode. If you guys have your own personal thoughts and your own personal opinions, be sure to share those down below. You know, your boy was right about Mitsuki knowing who the fuck the bad guy was, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I wanted to wait till like at least enough of the pieces was assembled for us to actually label a culprit. So now in this episode, I'm probably going to give you guys who I think it really is, you know, just my personal thoughts and personal opinions. I mean, if you guys have watched the episode, you should know who it is too, because, you know, that last staple was pretty much vital to what we needed to know. You know, it was one of those things where I hinted at it and I wanted to agree with it, but, you know, at the same time, I was just kind of sitting in the back and I didn't want to go full-fledged on with it and basically say, hey, this is it. So with that being said, if you guys are excited, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. With that being said, finally, let's get it.
Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
So looking at this episode, this was probably one of the more bromance episodes. If you guys don't know, there was a bromance episode that happened in the manga. If you guys read Boruto manga, there was kind of a bromance episode with that. But this one was kind of a bromance between Boruto and Mitsuki. And, you know, we got to see some screen time from Naruto, which he was kind of chilling. And it wasn't actually a shadow clone. So that was pretty interesting. So throughout this episode, you know, we start to see Boruto actually expressing himself with teamwork. And he's starting to see how Boruto has become the center of the class in terms of, like, people attracting to him. Not in terms of him actually being like, you know, like the bad guy all the time, like, you know, being an idiot, you know, him being like a problem child and shit like that, but people are attracting to him as in, you know, people gravitate around him because he's a good person. He's like a lot different than Naruto was, because if you guys remember when in the beginning of Naruto was always trying to get accepted, and, you know, he was always, you know, like being told like, look, you know, you don't belong here, you're a fucking outcast, you know, you're a demon, why are you still in the village? You know, he's always outcasted throughout the whole entire, you know, Naruto franchise, up until like the parts where he started to do things in terms of like saving people, becoming the hero of the elite village, and even ending the war. So, you know, that's when we saw Naruto start to like get his own little shine and shit like that. But from the beginning, Boruto is accepted. Boruto has the acceptance like level that's really high, and it's really like interesting to look at, because if you look at the way Naruto was pitched and Naruto was like originally showed to us, you know, we saw Naruto as somebody that was working so hard to be accepted. That's why he wanted the goal of Hokage. That's why he wanted to become Hokage and shit like that. Due to Boruto being already accepted, I don't think Boruto will ever truly feel how Naruto felt, or truly ever be able to express the same concerns and the feelings that, you know, that Naruto felt, because Boruto is automatically like 100% accepted by his peers. Everybody respects him. They respect his fighting abilities, his capabilities and shit like that. Now, one person we starting to see that's starting to grow a lot fonder of his capabilities and start to have high expectations of him is Mitsuki, or Mitsuki. Like, I know a lot of people always be like, oh, it's not Mitsuki, but I was just pronouncing it how it looks, you know, Mitsuki, but it's Mitsuki. I guess that's what everybody keeps telling me to say. But Mitsuki, basically, he has his own little vibe with Boruto that he's trying to figure something out. And, you know, the one thing I liked about this episode was we started to get a little drawbacks and little like subtle moments of Mitsuki's past. You know, you start to see like, you know, him having his own little vendettas and have his own little personal flashbacks and shit like that. You know, we start to see him, you know, coming out of like the test tube. This man is dead as a test tube baby. You know, he's like Mewtwo. You know what I'm saying? He just straight out of test tube. You know, he's like a sperm cell baby. Like, you know, I went to sperm bank, I donated some shit. You know, they put it in a fucking tube, baby born. Bow. That's Mitsuki. That's kind of fucked up, but that's something that's interesting about him, and it plays a little bit more into his origin compared to a lot of other people. But one thing's for certain, you know, I'm really enjoying how this is starting to play out. We're starting to see a lot of different aspects of Mitsuki's personality start to pan out, because when we first saw him, you know, he reminded us of a lot of Sai. Everybody had that same vibe of Sai, but throughout this episode, we start to see him express his emotions. This was shown when we saw Boruto and Mitsuki and Denki go on a trial run and shit like that. We saw those guys actually participate in something, and, you know, it was one of those things where Boruto wanted to save Denki, you know, and we seen that compassionate side of Mitsuki, which was pretty unique, you know, because in the beginning part, you know, we didn't see Mitsuki having the compassionate side. We seen Mitsuki doing things where he truly just didn't give a fuck about people, and you know, he was just acting on his own, you know, doing things according to his own like mindset and shit like that. If he actually wanted to go forward and, you know, protect somebody and, you know, go ahead and save them, it would be out of his own interest, you know. But now he's seeing that Boruto acts like that, and it looks like he's trying to find some type of compassion within Boruto. It's kind of similar to Naruto, Sai, you know, Sakura, when they had that whole little vendetta and shit like that, when they was going through their little issues, and we saw them like to start to, you know, develop their own little friendships and bonds. Because when Sai first was introduced, Sai didn't have any emotions, and we didn't see him truly like express himself completely, you know. I mean, Sasuke did have emotions in terms of like him being a person, but it was more emotions of hatred, emotions of rage. You know, we start seeing him showing caring and compassionate towards the end when, you know, Naruto confronted him and Naruto got him to come back to the village. When we got Sasuke's story, we start seeing him, you know, have his own little like heart. The only person we saw him, you know, truly have compassion and concerns for was his brother Itachi. You know, he kind of had some daddy issues on the side, you know, he had some big brother issues on the side, you know, because, you know, his father always favored, you know, Itachi because Itachi was strong and shit like that, but at the same time his father didn't want him to be like Itachi. So it was one of those things where, you know, Sasuke was always in the shadows, and then we got, you know, Sai was basically, you know, in fucking foundation and shit like that with the Anbu. They were taught to harness the power of darkness, taught to be completely emotionless, and we started to see Mitsuki, you know, confront and actually, you know, try to help people and try to be there for people. You know, he took interest in Iwabi when Iwabi was studying, when Boruto was actually explaining to Iwabi, you know, hey, look, this is how you do this is how you do that, you know, trying to help him, you know, simplify his work because he was having a lot of trouble. And, you know, they could tell that he was struggling, and, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, we saw him take part in it as well, and he said, it told Iwabi, he said it looked like he was having fun and shit like that. And that was pretty interesting for the most part, because we never seen Mitsuki actually like take interest in anybody other than his own objectives, and basically seems like the objective that Orochimaru or whoever he's talking to with the snake is basically panning out for him. And then, you know, we kind of got some flashbacks as well as him heading over to dinner with Boruto. You know, this was the first time we actually seen somebody come over for dinner. You know, if you think about it, the person that we would honestly think we would see most going over for dinner with Boruto would probably be Shikadai, but it wasn't actually Shikadai, it was actually, you know, Mitsuki, and that was like the first person we saw that was over for dinner. And he not to even express, you know, it's been a long time since you brought somebody over for dinner. It was a long time since you had a friend that was coming over to chill with you. You know, it's kind of remind me of your younger age and your younger years, you know. And I guess maybe Shikadai and Boruto hung out when they were like kids and shit like that, but now that, like, you know, they're older, Boruto never came home with anybody because he felt like, you know, what's the purpose of always being home? My dad's never here, you know, mom's always talking about positive about dad and shit like that, you know, I don't want to hear that type of shit. And then the fucked up part about it, Naruto actually came home the one time that he had a friend over. You know, Naruto came home early, and it was kind of crazy because, you know, at first, you know, we thought this was going to pan out to be like a friendly dinner, but I kind of, you know, felt like something was going to draw and something that was going to happen a little bit later on. And it kind of did play out that way. You know, we saw, you know, Naruto actually, you know, have to leave, you know, when he was talking to Shikamaru about the weird chakra and shit like that. And he was talking about how, like, this abnormal chakra is starting to take over the village and shit like that. So Naruto had to leave the village and shit, like, I mean, not leave the village, but leave the house and go ahead and protect the village. And, you know, you saw Boruto go into his daddy issue fit. You know, he complains and talks about how, you know, my dad always leaving and shit like that, you always doing that for us and shit like that. And Naruto tried to express to him that being the Hokage means the whole entire village is my family. You know, you are part of my family, but there's like more than just you. So if anything was to happen to somebody in my family, I need to be there for him. And that kind of makes sense, because if you're a leader of a family and something happens to one of your relatives or one of your family members, you try to go out there and you do something for them, or you try to confront them and see, like, you know, if you can comfort them or do something for them, or if like somebody's going enraged or trying to kill your family, you defend them. That's just like the simplistics of it. You know, that's one thing we got to see. And like towards Boruto rushing out, you know, and not wanting to be in the house after that little issue, we got like this full-blown flashback with Mitsuki talking to Orochimaru, and Orochimaru talking about how, you know, you're going to do the things that I couldn't do, you're going to be the person that I couldn't be. And it basically reminds me of how Orochimaru was like evil in the village. You know, he was talking how, you know, basically you're going to accomplish things that I couldn't accomplish, and he wants Mitsuki to follow that path, and that's basically be there for the village, be able to protect the village, not betray the village, because, you know, he wanted to defeat the Lord Third, and, you know, he wanted to, you know, take over the village himself. He actually wanted to conspire to destroy the village, and he betrayed, you know, the Kazekages and shit like that, and he wanted to really like go head to head with the village. He even created his own village and shit like that. So that's basically him trying to atone for his sins in a sense, because he wants Mitsuki to come through and, you know, do what that he couldn't, basically. And that's it's either that he want him to protect the village and do what he couldn't, or he wants him to destroy the village and do what he couldn't. So it could go two ways. You know, I'm gonna actually make a theory video talking about that, you know, expressing myself. And then we had, you know, Mitsuki basically having his little moment with the class rep. That's basically what let me know she has like the biggest pawn in everything that's fucking taking place. I know a lot of people make discussion videos and theory videos talking talking about that, you know, but I wanted to, you know, sit there and wait till I got like that final piece of the puzzle, and that was pretty much the icing on the motherfucking cake. That was the cherry on the ice cream. Like, that lets us know, hey, this is what's gonna pan out, this is what's gonna start taking place, this is what's gonna transpire with her. You know, she has her own little objectives and her own little demeanor, so it kind of pans out that way. And that's one thing that let me know for sure, you know, hey, this is how it's gonna go and shit like that. So now towards the end of the episode, you know, when we start seeing them like really talk, you know, he basically explains to Boruto, I know who it is. And that's one thing I've always been saying. I was like, Mitsuki knows who's doing this, Mitsuki knows who's behind this. And we actually got a name. I forgot the name, I do apologize for that. That's probably like my lack of mental capacity that I can keep right now, because so much is going on with my like family and shit like that. But there was a name thrown out there. I'm actually gonna do some research into it, and I'll actually make a video talking about it, seeing if I can find any answers and shit like that. But for the most part, you know, we got Mitsuki explaining, and then we got the little preview of like the beast going rapid. We actually see Kakashi on the battlefield, which is gonna be really dope to see, because you haven't seen Kakashi in a really fucking long time. Just to see Kakashi back in action is something that I'm really excited for the next episode, you know. So this is the build-up episode, but the next episode and then the episode after that is going to be the true episodes of Heat. I'm actually going to talk about some things I know about that and talk about Boruto's eye, but I don't really want to spoil that for a lot of you guys. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button. But for the most part, you know, this was a chill episode. It's one of those chill, like, sit back, build up episodes. We got to know Mitsuki as a person, because everybody sees Mitsuki, and now we finally starting to get a lot of information about him. You know, we're starting to get a little intake behind him, because for the most part, a lot of you guys who are just anime watchers, you guys don't know like his background, you guys don't know his side story. And that's one thing, you know, I have over you guys and shit like that. And I can go ahead and say, hey, well, I know this because, you know, I read the side stories, I know a little bit about Mitsuki, I know where he come from, I know his past and shit like that. So a lot of the people that watch only the anime exclusively are starting to learn different things about him. So, you know, if you guys enjoyed that, let me know your personal thoughts and personal opinions about this episode. And with that being said, my name is Shino Benchero. Stay true and stay real. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and until next time, see you guys later. Bye.